Hi, my name's Bret. I'm the engineering manager with the Product and Service Excellence team here at RoseRocket. When you're talking to your customers and your partners, you've probably heard expressions like EDI or API, and usually in connection with connecting with the software that your partners and your customers use. And you've probably found yourself wondering, what do those terms even mean? In this video, we're going to talk about it. So first, EDI. EDI stands for Electronic Document Interchange, and it's really old. It dates back to the early days of using computers for business. And what it was really meant to do was speed up stuff that used to be done on paper. It was a replacement for documents that were put in envelopes and sent in the mail, things like catalogs and purchase orders. And EDI is still used now a whole lot in transportation for things like load tenders and status updates and invoices, but it's based on a really old technology. So how does it work? It's all about documents moving around. Suppose one of your customers is going to send you a load tender. Their software will generate an EDI version of that load tender, and that's an ugly document. It's meant for computers to read, not for people. And then software close to you is going to read it, and it turns it into something you can read. Then you'll be able to say, yes, we accept this load, or no, we decline it. And then you'll send back an EDI document that says yes or no. Yes. Once you've got EDI set up, it's lightning fast, and it works really well to move information between you and your customers. But it can be tough to set up. It often involves talking to a lot of people. It often involves detailed technical specifications of what those computer-readable documents should look like. And it involves sometimes dealing with multiple vendors. So we've talked a bit about EDI. You've probably also heard about APIs. That stands for Application Programming Interface. So what's the difference? Well, APIs are really about making it possible to automate things when one system talks to another one, and not just the exchange of documents, but doing things. One of the best ways to think about it is, in software, you can click around, you can type in an order, and you can dispatch it to a driver. With an API, you can let a computer do all those same things. The computer can create an order. The computer can dispatch that load to a driver. It sort of lets you write a program that does stuff in somebody else's application. And when one API talks to another, you can do all kinds of amazing business. We do that a lot here at RoseRocket. We've built API connections with accounting platforms, so when you generate invoices or bills in RoseRocket, they automatically get exported to your Xero or your QuickBooks. We've built connections with a service called Border Connect, so when you send a load across the border, the Customs Services Agency will hear about it automatically. We've built API connections with ELD vendors so that you can see the locations of your assets real-time on a map. So how do you know if you need to use EDI or the RoseRocket API to get something done? Well, if the people you're doing business with are already on the RoseRocket network, probably you don't need to, because RoseRocket talks to RoseRocket automagically. If your customers need you to use EDI, they'll tell you. EDI is almost always associated with huge organizations, big retailers, and they'll want to use EDI to push orders to you, and they'll want you to use EDI to push status updates and invoices to them. So when might you want to use the RoseRocket API? Well, if the people you're doing business with are on the internet, in the cloud, and if you need to automate order flow or manifest dispatch or something else in a way that isn't already built, that's a great time to explore what the API has to offer. And you and your developers and your IT staff can find everything they need to know right under the developer link on our website. So if your customers need you to set up an EDI connection, that's okay. We can help. If you're interested in exploring what the RoseRocket API can do, the good news is you already have access. If you've got questions about either one, reach out to the RoseRocket team.